Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you guys doing? My name is Emily. I'm very excited to be here with you guys tonight. Thank you very much for being here. As the title of the show suggests, it's called the Jazz Violin. So if you were looking for the saxophone, you came to the wrong area. Sorry about that tonight. I'll be playing for you a bunch of my favourite tunes, and this one is called The Way You Look Tonight, and I think you all look very fabulous tonight. Thank you so much, guys. How are you guys doing today? Oh, amazing. How many of you been to one of my shows before? Just out of interest. Oh, that's quite a lot. Wow, repeat offenders. And if you haven't, right? This is your first time? Oh, you're in for a treat. I can't wait. Well, if you don't know, my name is Emily Gelineau, and I play the violin over here, and I've been playing for about 22 years now, which is very great considering I'm only 17. So, youthful looks, as I say, it's skincare. But I love everything jazz, gypsy jazz, a little bit of everything. And I've been travelling quite a lot lately, and it's really nice to be back on the Ellington stage. It's really nice to be back on a stage that isn't moving, as I do a lot of cruise ship performances. So who needs Pilates when you can stand in heels on a moving cruise ship, you know? It's a lot of balance. It's nice to be on land. So tonight I'm going to give you a little bit of a smorgasbord of things that I really enjoy, backed by an amazing quartet. Can we please hear it for the amazing band behind me? I will introduce them later, but this next one I want to play for you is a gypsy jazz standard, but the version is by one of my favourite jazz violinists, and his name is Sven Asmussen. Has anyone heard of him before? No? No, he's not very well known actually. He's a Danish jazz violinist. And I've had to kind of look wide and far to find inspiration on jazz violin because there's not very many of us around. We're a little bit of a rare breed. And he came up with this beautiful version of a lovely gypsy jazz tune called Honeysuckle Rose. Thank you guys. Having a couple rows featuring the amazing Gelineau the pies on the guitar. Woohoo! Oh, we have some bands. And Kane Shaw on the bass. A little bit of a funny story here for you guys. It has been approximately, I don't know, almost exactly 7 years since Kane and I have played together. And the first time and the only other time that we played together was 7 years ago on the Ellington stage when I was 17, so you can do your maths. I'm 24 now, I just gave you the answer. And it was a gig that I put on. It was a farewell gig because I went to go and live in the United States for a few years. And I was this little fresh 17-year-old girl. It was a very eclectic gig. I'm surprised that Kate even said yes to being here tonight after that, 17 years of age. But it's so nice to be able to play with you again. And yeah, I think that deserves a round of applause, doesn't it? So how many of you out of interest might have come to see my Fringe show this year, Tea for Two? Anyone came for Tea for Two? Yeah, there's a few, amazing. So if you didn't know, well, you missed out, too bad. No, I'm kidding, I'll do it again. At the beginning of the year, I put on a Fringe show called Tea for Two, a tribute to Stefan Grappelli, who of course probably one of my major music influences, and it was held at the Duke of George. And I tried to tell a little bit of his story through the music. And something I'd like to do for you now, and maybe you don't know, that Stefan is not only, or was not only, an incredible violinist, but he was an absolutely phenomenal pianist. And some of his solo piano works are absolutely just fantastic. So I wanted to pay a little bit of a homage with a song that he absolutely used to love playing, Saturn Doll. Dort on the drums.
Triangle trains.
Yeah, triangle trains. We did like a 1, 2, 3. It was a funky thing. So, so this next set of tunes that I want to play are from the gypsy jazz idiom, and of course influenced by Stefan Grappelli. Do we have any Stefan Grappelli fans in the house? Amazing. Can I tell you a funny story about Stefan that I love? Yes? I'm going to tell you anyway, so no problem, all good. So Stefan was quite a cheeky man, and he obviously used to play with Django Reinhardt in the Hot Club of France. And early on in their career as the Hot Club of France, or the quintet, they got offered a gig. And they said it was for a very wealthy ball at a house, and they only had one request, and that was that the band had to play completely naked. And I think they went, wow, okay, well, how much are you paying? And we had a little conversation at the back of the, in the green room just before, and Ryan said he does that for free on a regular basis, so I'm not entirely sure.
A weekly residency.
A weekly residency of that, so that's your thing. No, I'm kidding. Sorry, Ryan. And so they were assured that this was sort of the vibe of the event. Okay, no problem. If everyone's going to be doing this, I'm sure it's okay. And they got quite a good amount of money, so they said yes. Anyway, so they rock up at the gig and they're ready to go, and they're behind the curtain, completely naked with their instruments, and the curtain opens and everyone is there in full tuxedos and ball gowns. And it's just them on stage. And I think for Django and probably the bass player, it was great, but poor Stefan with his violin up here didn't really have much of a chance. And there's really lucky there was no women in the band, because that just would have ended terribly, I'm sure. So that's my little funny story about Stefan Grappelli, and I'm sure that there's so many more, and he seemed like such a wonderful gentleman. Did anyone ever get the chance to see him actually play live? Yes, we've got a few hands here. Yeah, that's absolutely incredible. Mum, why wasn't I born earlier? You know, like... Anyway, so these next songs are Nuage and Daphne. music is just incredible, and I hope it gets its longevity that it deserves. Was anyone here last night at the Ellington by any chance? Woohoo! There was a few people, and Danilo said that on stage he was. So it's been a bit of a big week, but last night we were also here at the Ellington. And this is Danilo De Paz by everyone on the guitar. And not only is he an incredible guitar player, but he is actually an accordion player as well, a piano accordion player. And he's from the wonderful land of, where are you from again? Cartagena. I don't know if that's a country. No, Danilo is from Brazil, and we play a lot of Brazilian music together. And last night we had a day that celebrated one of the forms of music in Brazil, which is called choro. And last night we played right in the centre of the jazz club, and we had about 8 people around the table, and it was just an incredible little trip to Brazil that I sort of didn't want it to end. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a taste of Brazil as well. So we came up with a little song that we're going to do together, and it talks about the influence of jazz on the rhythms and the music of Brazil, which was at that time the samba. And the samba had been around for quite a while in Brazil. It had a lot of African influence, a lot of African roots. And of course, once people were traveling a little bit more, samba started to get a little bit more infiltrated from jazz, and this genre of samba jazz was kind of birthed. However, it wasn't something that people were super excited about at the time. They didn't love that jazz was becoming part of samba. So this little song talks about, I guess, the difficulties with jazz becoming part of the samba. Mas em compensação eu quero ver o boogie-woogie de pandeiro violão. Quero ver o tio-som da trincheira numa batucada brasileira. Pobre samba meu, volta lá pro morro e pede socorro onde nasceu. Pra nascer um samba com nomes demais, não ser um samba todo pra frente e pra trás. Vai ter que se virar pra poder se livrar da influência do jazz. Samba meu, por que muda tanto assim? Samba meu, de surdo e tamborim. Vem pro morro e mostra como se faz. Quase morro com tanta influência do jazz. Não cai não, fica pertinho de mim. Sem culpado, bate meu tamborim. Volta pro morro esquerdo. poder ser livre da influência da gente. Volta lá pro morro e pede socorro, meu Deus, Nossa Senhora. O samba não tem mais, o samba novo não tem mais. O meu samba, influência do jazz. Vai ter que se virar pra poder se livrar. Vai ter que se virar pra poder se livrar. Todo homem vai ter que se virar. Essa influência do jazz. Oh, não ser um samba pra todo pra trás. O samba que se virar pra poder se livrar da influência do jazz. Wow, how do we follow that up? I'm going to stick a little Brazilian song in there for you guys. Did you like it? Yes. I'm so sorry about the words. Did anyone understand it? No, don't worry, I don't understand it either. I'm just saying the words and it's all just coming out. So, but as we've gone to Brazil, I thought we'd also make a quick little departure to one of my other favourite cities and countries of the world, which is France. Anyone love France? Yes. And of course, it is the birthplace of gypsy jazz and Django Reinhardt and Stefan Grappelli and all of this amazing stuff. But I thought I just had to do something French for you guys. So you ready? You've got your berets on. Have you got some croissants? Have we got everything we need? Beautiful. All right, guys, let's do it.
Don't let it
singing voices warmed up tonight, guys. Yes? I'm gonna get you to help me with a little something. It's in French. I promise it's not too hard. It goes, c'est bon. Can you say that with me? C'est bon. Oh, plenty. That's amazing. C'est bon. Okay, all you have to do is tell me after me. It's pretty easy. I reckon we can do it together. Here we go. A one, a two, a three, and eight. C'est bon, c'est bon. Yeah, c'est bon, c'est bon. C'est bon, c'est bon. This time like you mean it. Here we go. Yeah, c'est bon, c'est bon. C'est bon, c'est bon. I'm gonna get a little quieter. C'est bon, c'est bon. C'est bon, c'est bon. Even quieter. C'est bon, c'est bon. My knees are killing me. C'est bon, c'est bon. I don't know if I can get up from here. It's gonna be really hard. So if you guys sing that, it might help. C'est bon, c'est bon. C'est bon, c'est bon. There we go. Oui, c'est bien, c'est bon, c'est bon. C'est bon, c'est bon. C'est tellement bon. C'est très bon. Oh, c'est si bon. Oh, c'est si bon. C'est bon, c'est bon. C'est bon. Here we go. C'est bon. C'est non Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a quick break and we will be back with you very shortly. Enjoy. Thank you.